Artur Beterbiev right now is one of the best fighters in boxing, and I feel like his legacy will never reflect how good of his fighter he is. And because of that, we're going to go into a video after the groovy intro to talk about that. So Artur Beterbiev, off the top of my head, 19-0, 19 knockouts, stopped everybody, has impressive wins over guys like Alex Gvozdyk. We call him Alex the Nail because it's more user-friendly, it's easier. He's beaten everyone that's been put in front of him. He beat Tavares Cloud, a top fighter, believe world champion. Can't quite remember if it was a world championship belt or a secondary when Bernard fought him and beat him on HBO. But he's always been fighting top competition. The issue with Beterbiev has been activity. So it's like he was this dominant force coming out, emerging. People were kind of like saying Beterbiev is probably an even scarier version of Sergey Kovalev, because when he emerged, he was the guy that was behind Kovalev, but he was taking this extremely fast track to the title, doing things to guys like Gabriel Campillo, who was having extremely competitive fights with good fighters, and then Beterbiev just annihilates him. And it's like, who the freak is this guy? To me, he occupies my number 5 spot on the pound-for-pound list, below Bivol, but he's in that A tier of fighter currently. I think there's about 6 A-tier fighters in the sport of boxing. He's in that tier. The problem is activity. He fought Anthony Yarde in January. I guess it was a fight some people wanted to see. I mean, I think that fight was kind of a circle of the outcome. Like Anthony Yarde, I don't think is going to win a world title unless Beterbiev or Bivol retire and there's like a vulnerable champion. Even then, I think he's the guy that would lose to an emerging guy like a Ben Whittaker or a Joshua Buatsi. He's a physically strong guy. He's a good talker, but I just don't think he's that top tier of boxer. That's Beterbiev's 2023. He recently has some form of a jaw injury that there was a press release that got sent out. It's very disappointing because he was fighting Callum Smith. That's a real fight. Callum Smith was a former super middleweight champion, moving up, light heavyweight, big puncher. Beterbiev, I believe, is 38. When he probably gets back in the ring, he's going to be 39. He's going to have had a jaw injury, which that seems a little sketchy for his professional career. I hate to say it, but we're getting close to the end with Beterbiev's career, and it feels like we've never had the stop the world everyone is watching fight. It should have been Alex the Nail, but it's like he fights Alex the Nail, he stops Alex the Nail, he's supposed to go to the moon, COVID-19 happens, and he becomes an afterthought. And I think that's the issue with Beterbiev and Bivol is when the pandemic happened, there were certain guys that promoters didn't focus on, and Beterbiev and Bivol were two of those guys. They were just guys that were not at the forefront of when we get our selected dates, we need to focus on these fighters. And I think when we look back, we're always going to wonder just how good Beterbiev was. I think there's going to be a school of thought. Some people say, well, he never quite got that Bivol fight. Even if he gets the Bivol fight, they'll be like, he's older. Even if he wins it, we never got to see what he could have done in his prime. Then there's going to be another school of thought, well, he never fought the dangerous guy in his division. Let's be honest, light heavyweight, it's an awful division. There's maybe 5 guys that are world-class fighters, and then there's like a prospect level kind of contender range from the 6 to 10 range compared to other divisions. It's kind of like 154 kind of has that drop-off. Flyweight has that drop-off. These are some vulnerable divisions where if you're an astute manager, you could really move a fighter into a very favorable position in these type of divisions. It's not like super middleweight. It's not like welterweight currently, although welterweight could also fall off a cliff soon if the 2 big names move up. I think Beterbiev's legacy is going to be kind of like a what if. That's what it feels like. Now, Beterbiev could rewrite this story, but it feels like to me at this point, hearing this injury, which is deflating, was going to be a fight in August 17th, ESPN. Who knows if the show still goes on. It was a show based in Montreal. I've gotten no word on it, but he was the centerpiece of this. It was him, Callum Smith, cross-promotion bout between Matchroom and Top Rank. And now he's out, and I don't see him coming back before the year's over. So he's probably not coming back, and shoulder shrugs. This is his career, and it's a shame to see it because he was one of the most intimidating and fearsome fighters I've ever seen. Guys like Iceman John Scully absolutely think the world of him, and I truly think we'll never know how good Beterbiev was based on this recent information.